the whole heavyweight situation has evolved somewhat. When we last spoke, we were talking about a potential step aside for Anthony Joshua, and then the big fight happening, Fury against Usyk. Since that, Dillian Whyte has been ordered as the mandatory, and a negotiation period has been ordered. What can you tell us about this situation of Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk? How does it all sit?
It sits as you just said at the moment. Of course, everybody wants to see the fight between Tyson and Usyk, but to make that happen, two fighters now would have to step aside, AJ and Whyte. The negotiations have been tentatively going on at the moment with Dillian Whyte. However, until, and I'm quite sure we get it soon, until they determine the WBC what the splits would be, should it go to purse bids. Once we get that, then I think that the negotiations will sort of start moving very quickly then.
So you're not the only person saying that in the market. Eddie Hearn's saying the same thing. It's difficult to negotiate when you don't know what the split is. Why hasn't that happened?
I don't know, but I'm sure it will happen fairly soon.
Have you got confidence that you will get a deal done, or do you think it would go to purse bids? What do you think?
I like to think we'll get a deal done. I mean, we'll be dealing direct with Dillian and see where we go from there.
Where are we thinking location-wise? There was rumours of
Cardiff. It's a British fight. It's a British fight, and depending on what time of the year it's to go on, if it goes on in winter, leading up to or up to March, the only sizable venue that's got a roof that can put it on to deal with the British weather would be Cardiff. Other than that, it'd have to go into an arena. In an ideal world, I'd like to put it on at Man United, because that's where Tyson comes from. But one, it's the football season, and two, the weather in March is not the greatest weather.
Well, listen,
too cold.
It would be. Do you see any scenario in which that's not the next fight for both guys?
If the two guys who want to fight the champions step aside, then it could happen.
How far did talks actually progress with Anthony Joshua before? Because it seemed to come as a bit of a surprise where suddenly Dillian Whyte was ordered as the mandatory.
Well, I mean, the talks that were going on there was a will to do it with everybody, but it is what it is now, and it's all irrelevant anyway. That's totally irrelevant. We're in the situation we're in now, and that's what we have to deal with. Tyson's been out, before that fight was out the ring for 20 months. He wants to get out. He wants to be active. He's told everybody he wants to be out in latest March. So that's what we're working towards.